Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Builds. And in today's episode, we are going to be building a bridge, but I have a little bit of a special treat for you today. Some of you may recognize this world as the world of my Season 2 vanilla single-player series. This is the Amplified world where we built all sorts of cool stuff, and I thought it would be a really cool place to build a bridge because a really important part of building a good bridge is the terrain that goes along with it, and building it in a super flat world would just not work very well. So I figured we'd just take a quick minute here and just kind of look over the world a little bit. We've got some sheep farms, you got all sorts of stuff. There's a staircase that leads up here. It's really kind of a cool world, and there is a download on the last episode, which you can find. It's one of the playlists on my channel. You can find it if you wanna explore the world a little bit more. But anyway, we're going to build a bridge, and I think I had a location picked out. Was it over here, maybe? How about right here? This looks pretty good. We could build a bridge that goes from like here across to this side. I think that's pretty good. I like that idea. So, all is well there, and I think without further ado, let's go ahead and get right to building. I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock starting right now. So, the first thing I think we're going to do is go ahead and clear out some of this terrain so that we have some space to work with. Let's just clear a decent amount of it. In fact, we might want to clear pretty much this whole little section, I think. Yeah, let's just get rid of all of this right here. And that should be fine. And then let's go ahead and replace this stone here with grass, because I think that'll look a bit better. There we go. And then our bridge is going to kind of come over here, I think, is where I'm going to want it. So let's clear out a little bit more grass over here. In fact, let's just replace all of this with grass. It's fine. There we go. Beautiful. So our bridge is going to come like right here. So let's take this edge back just a little bit more. And we want to kind of round this so it doesn't look quite as unnatural. Maybe like that. And then we'll take some regular dirt and just bring it down like so. How's that look? That looks pretty good. Okay, excellent. Now, let's grab some spruce. And we need to kind of lay out the borders of our bridge. So, and we also need to kind of measure out the dimensions as well. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We want to make sure we have an odd number. So, this will be one part of our bridge. Whoa! Good thing I'm in creative mode, because if I was in survival still in this world, that would have hurt a lot. Let's grab some shears just to kind of get rid of these leaves a little faster as well. It does not work as amazingly well in creative, does it? The shears don't actually work the way they're supposed to. Okay, fine. Look at that. We can do this. Be that way, game. See who wins now. Okay, beautiful. So, much better. There. Okay, so we'll do that. Sometimes you just kind of have to show Minecraft who's boss. Okay, so we've got our bridge kind of figured out that way. Let's take out this chunk here. And then we're going to start kind of laying things out. We know that we want another post right there. And we know that this is going to be part of the bridge as well, so we'll take off that grass. And now that we've got our area kind of set up, and we know that this is 13 blocks, we can kind of plan some stuff out a little bit. So if we come to the middle, and we can maybe raise that up 3, and then maybe raise that up 2, like this. So we'll get kind of a shape like that, and that might work. In fact, I think that'll look pretty good. And then we can just go ahead and break these, because they were really just for guide purposes anyway. They were just, basically guidelines. Now, I don't necessarily want to build these pillars all the way down, but we might have to in order to get the bridge kind of functional. So why don't we do that? Can I reach that? There we go. And one important thing, whenever you're doing pillars, supports, anything like that, always make them go down to the point where they're not visible anymore. Because let's be honest, I'll show you what I mean here. Let's bring this down. If we stop right here, that just looks a little weird to me. It doesn't look quite right. So you want it to look like it's going all the way into the ground. And that's going to be really important if you want this to work out. So let me clear out this birch tree. And the rest of those will probably decompose by the time the rest of that should be fine. So we're good there. Okay. Now, these bridge supports, I don't know. I'm tempted to kind of bring them down all the way. Like so. Like that. What do we think of that? How's that look? That's actually not bad. It's not terrible, and it kind of makes it look like these supports are kind of holding up that ledge as well, which I kind of like. It looks like they're kind of keeping this from falling over, and we could maybe work on that and develop it a little bit by adding like an additional support or maybe even a couple additional supports kind of coming down into the water like this. You know what I'm saying? So something just to make it look like this whole thing is kind of being supported by these big spruce log pillars that are coming up. There we go. And then those two are kind of holding it up. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, but it'll work. Yeah. I like that. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is lay out kind of our foundation, if you will. And we want to make sure that these match up. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll build this one up until it gets to match up with that side. And then we'll do the same right here. Like so. Beautiful. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now we need to lay out like our floor and all that kind of stuff. And that's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. So I'm thinking maybe we'll take some... that I don't like. I changed my mind. I just like that. Let's use maybe dark oak. Dark oak slabs and dark oak planks over here. And what I'm kind of thinking is to kind of gradually bring that up, right? And then right here, it will go up a little bit more drastically until it gets to like there. How's that look? That's not bad. And then we'll bring it back down here, there, and then like so. How's that look for a shape? That looks pretty good. I like it. So it comes up a little bit gradually. It comes over here, up there, and down there. Yeah. This will do. this will do nicely. And I'm using the dark oak because I think the dark oak goes very, very well with the spruce. I think that the two just really go well together. So we'll get kind of our bridge shape like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we want the bridge itself to kind of be like, kind of receded, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does make sense. But I'll show you what I mean. So let's grab some oak planks, some oak stairs, and some oak slabs. And if we do oak right here, we're essentially bringing this up like so, and maybe up here, and then back down. So basically, the oak is a half a block lower than the little guideline section right next to it. And you can see that gives us a little bit of depth and detail, and it makes it look a lot better than it would otherwise. Now, we could maybe even add to that a little bit more by bringing these down. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Like that. And like so. Do I like that better? I may like that better. I think I do like that better. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So now we've got a plan. And it's a good plan. At least I think it's a good plan. There we go. And that just kind of helps keep everything looking relatively okay. It looks pretty good. We can take some of this back maybe as well. Now, if you're carving mountains like this, you probably want to make sure that you're using relatively, like, long lines. Long vertical lines, right? Because it'll just look a lot more natural. But that looks pretty good. Okay, now, to top that off and to kind of bring everything together, I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll maybe take some cobblestone walls and place them on top of the logs like this, just to kind of give us this shape. And then maybe we'll bring these like, oh, that. What do we think? That's actually a pretty good look. I like it. I think that looks really good. So we're basically just connecting these cobblestone structures like that to kind of bring everything together. And then for lighting, we can just stay real simple and throw a torch onto each of these cobblestone pillars, these cobblestone wall end sections that are sticking out like that. And then at night, this will still look pretty good. So if we go like time set 15,000 to make it night, you can see the bridge is still very clearly lit up, which is always a good thing. That's what we want. Now, just as important as the bridge itself, let's turn it back to day. Just as important as the bridge itself is the path that leads to the bridge. So we're going to work on that just a little bit. Not a whole lot. I'm going to keep it really, really simple. But let's grab maybe some coarse dirt, some gravel, and some jungle wood, maybe. Something... Oh, I forgot to grab the gravel. There we go. And maybe some jungle wood slabs. That's birch. There we go. So we can kind of lay down the coarse dirt here. And maybe some jungle wood like that. And you can see that this kind of comes... I mean, you're going to have to use your imagination that the road would continue out here and that this mountain wasn't there. But basically, then when you get to this side, we can do kind of the same thing and turn the road, you know, off in this way, in that direction. Lay down some coarse dirt, like so. And we can have kind of this nice path that comes around. And then we can even decorate that if we want and, you know, put in some other things. We may want like an elevation change. So maybe we'd want the path to kind of come up like over here. And to do that, we might put down some jungle wood and then kind of bring the coarse dirt over a little bit more, you know, along this area. Oh. And out, you know, this way. It just kind of giving you a rough idea of how I might do the path as well. But it kind of gives you the idea. So we got a bridge, and the bridge I think looks pretty good for the most part. One thing I do want to do, or one detail I do want to add is like right here. I want to make cross beams of some sort, kind of going into the wall, just to make it look like it's got a little bit more support and structure to it. So once again, just like we did with the other pillars, we want to cover up anywhere where it would be visible that the thing doesn't actually pop through all the way. So like right there. And that looks pretty good. And then here, I think we're probably pretty good on that. This would technically be a spruce log. I don't really care for that though. Let's just put some stone there. In fact, we can even kind of tear out some of that as well. Maybe build this up a little bit just to give it a better shape. I think I prefer that. Something like that. But anyway, guys, I am definitely out of time, so I'm going to call this one done at 14 minutes and 45 seconds. We got ourselves a nice little bridge. There's a couple other minor things you could do to it if you want. Maybe throw down a stair here and here, and on this side as well. You know, just kind of little things you could do to dress it up. But this series is not about showing you builds that you can copy, but rather about giving you ideas that you can make your own. So I'm going to call this one good. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.